Hello, Dave here with Organic Gardening in North Carolina. It is February the 25th. It's time for a February garden tour. It's been real warm, so there's a lot of things sprouting, a lot of things growing. Okay, here's some kale that survived the winter. It's bouncing back actually. There's some comfrey sprouting out. I think this might be an apple tree that I put some seeds in the ground. There is my garlic. Also have some watercress there. There's watercress there, and then one farther down there. My fig tree still has the wrap on it. It could still get awful cold here. March can be a very cold month. There's some spinach. The blueberries are starting to bud. I'm winter sowing. This is called direct winter sowing. Some tomatoes in here. I have 3 little covers with tomatoes. It makes like a greenhouse effect, and you don't have to do anything with it. Just put the seeds in the ground and they'll come up when the time is right. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I put this in the winter time. A pomegranate from Stark Brothers. My moringa tree, I don't know if it's going to recover from the winter because it looks pretty dead. And the bark is sort of peeled the whole way down. But it might sprout out from the roots. If it does, that would be great. Here is a peach tree that is a volunteer, came up from a seed. And it seems like it's doing really well. I planted some potatoes underneath the ground here in this little row. I just planted them yesterday, so they should be coming up soon. Some more Premier Kale. This is some Swiss Chard, which needs thinned a little bit. Give some of them a chance to grow. This is a giant Swiss Chard on this row, and then over on the other side I got some smaller Swiss Chard. There's some cilantro that I don't remember planting, but maybe I did. My Goji Berry has a new sprout that's really taken off. Maybe this will be the year for the Goji berries to start taking off. Because as you can see, the plant has done nothing since I planted it here like 2 years ago. It's got a few little tiny berries on it, but it didn't grow. So hopefully this Goji berry will start taking off. I planted an apple tree over here. That's just a golden delicious. Here's some carrots that are bouncing back a little bit from the winter. Some strawberries. Here's some sorrel that made it through the winter and is starting to bounce back now. Everything else in this bed got killed. We got lower than normal temperatures this year, it seemed like. Here's another winter sown thing for candied tomatoes, Isis candy. Some more spinach. There's some new strawberries I planted, which are blooming. There's actually quite a few blooms on these. So we'll have strawberries before too long. Some mustard greens that are bouncing back. Also put some onion bulbs in here. I planted some sugar snap peas along this trellis here, the whole way down. So hopefully they'll be coming up soon. My fig tree I have wrapped with this with wood chips and chicken wire. Probably in in another month or so, I'll unwrap that and spread the wood chips around. Here's winter sown Swiss chard. Might be a little hard to see, but let me see if I can get it down in there. Oh yeah, there we go. They're growing in there. And this one is the giant Swiss chard, which they're really growing in there. A bunch of them came up and sprouted and are growing like crazy. Planted some radishes in here. Actually I got a row of carrots, then I planted a row of daikon radishes, and then a row of French breakfast. So hopefully we'll have some carrots soon. Here's some more direct winter sown crops. This is broccoli. You can see they're sprouting there. Knock the condensation off to see in there. And here's some cilantro. That's a weed. There's some cilantro sprouting. This stuff here is called mock, which is a green that's yummy, sort of has a nutty flavor. Planted peppers, direct winter sowed here. Of course, they're not coming up yet. They'll come up when the weather's right for them. I planted some direct winter sowed tomatoes under those two. Here's some cilantro. Made it through the winter. Some lettuce. More cilantro. Here's carrots that died down but are bouncing back. I planted some more spinach not long ago. And these big ones were planted last fall. This is giant spinach, I believe. Then I have some black radishes here. And a bunch more of garlic. Here's some direct winter sown onions, which I'm planning to just let them be like, I guess you would say, like how they grow them for when you buy them in the store when they're in a clump of onions. These are Texas early grano onions. They're doing really well. Planted some outside the little cover too, and they're sprouting out also. Here's some onions I planted more recently. See if you can see any down in there. They're sprouting and starting to grow. Right, I think that's about it. I'm not sure if I showed you up here as well. I have a persimmon tree. It's one that gets real big persimmons, like that big around, and they're non-astringent, so they don't pucker your mouth like the wild varieties. Then I planted a dwarf apple tree, Grand Gala. And I just planted that from bare root like a week ago. And it's got some leaves starting to sprout out already. Hopefully that means it got enough water around the roots. Alright, well I guess that's about it for February. Stuff is really going to start exploding if we keep the warm weather. And if it gets cold, hopefully the things that are going right now won't die. I think I had some spinach stuck in my throat there. Alright, well thanks for watching. See you next time and have a blessed day.